I didn't want to cover this initially because, to be honest, I'm getting to be a little bit more nothing ever happens pilled on the whole, like, Trump is the world's biggest living pedophile, because Epstein's dead, thing. You know, it seems like without any kind of like mounted Democrat pressure, it's difficult for this stuff to really take off. There has been a lot of like really funny discourse though since the oversight Dems forced the release of so in Epstein's estate, right? Like the stuff that was managed when he died, you know, stuff gets like distributed. The state has is aware of it, right? There was a big collection of birthday letters to him, one of which was a letter that was previously only described. And the description of the letter included the text in it, and then the fact that Trump drew the silhouette of a naked lady around the text. And the text is, as you might recall, it meant to, thank you, very helpful for my diet. No, I'll have it. My partner just gave me stroopwafel from Europe. Coffee and stroopwafel. I swear to God, you were about to pull a printed version from off camera. Yeah, here I have Epstein's actual birthday letter. Thank you. No, anyway, you might remember this, but like one thing I don't think people anticipated was that the drawing of a naked person that Trump would do over the text would look like a prepubescent child. It's funny that Trump drew that. Yeah, keep in mind this letter was in Epstein's estate. It can't be faked now. It was part of the logged estate. There are records of that. It's from 30 years ago. Also the pubes of the signature. Yeah, but that's the funny part. Where's that comparison? Hold on, because people were making comparisons, right? So so this was the text that was released before from was it the Washington Post? Who was it who released that? Who was it who released that when the original drop was? Wall Street Journal. Thank you, Wall Street Journal. I remembered the W. Those are not pubes. Listen, it's iconographic. Don't get it mixed up, okay? But anyway, right, so the text is voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. So, like, yeah, you don't need to be a brain genius to read the subtext on this one. And then, because it was described from the Wall Street Journal, it was described that it was drawn with like the silhouette of a naked woman around it. I think a lot of this was the mock-up that people did right here, because it was described that Donald's signature was the pubes and that it was drawn over the torso, but the actual drawing is so much creepier, because I understand this is like a little bit grotesque, but who would draw the breast there if it wasn't meant to be a kid? Like, we're talking about a cartoonish drawing of a woman's silhouette, okay? We all know how we would draw a woman's silhouette, like a naked, like if we were drawing like a raunchy birthday card, we all know exactly how we would draw a woman's silhouette, right? Like, we know, like, iconographically, it has nothing to do with what women, it's just like, how do you draw that? And then you got it, you know? The fact that the breast lines are placed there, man, Jesus Christ. I don't think anyone would have guessed it being that creepy. I'm serious. Doesn't it, like, I think that's meaningful. I think it's insane. I can't imagine looking at like assembling this text and then going, how do I draw the silhouette of a woman around this? And then drawing this. That's crazy. That's insane. And yeah, how tiny the neck is. But you get it. You understand. A bunch of other stuff from the estate was released, all in Epstein's birthday, like, compilation of letters. Do you have any like cool reads on this one? The President of the United States contributed to this portfolio of birthday cards to Epstein. Jesus Christ. Isn't part of the grotesqueness the fact that we sort of all assumed that the wealthy elite pedophiles would all be like, I don't know, creepy occultist Illuminati types, and in reality they're all just really stupid and juvenile? Like, the pedophile Illuminati isn't a bunch of people in like red robes with ritual sacrifices. It's like the most obscene, grotesque, unclass is I don't know what you put it, like the opposite of classy. Everyone wants to believe the Illuminati is classy. It's not. Yeah, they're all mental midgets. They're all 10 years old in the head, which is, I guess, appropriate considering the. You understand what I'm talking about, right? Like the fact that it's classless almost makes it worse. Again, I'm reminded of Zizek. He did a lecture recently. Was it at Oxford? I think the Oxford Union, where he talked about how he and the other Marxists made a mistake in assuming that the elite must be refined. In reality, the elite are more profane than we could ever imagine. Like poor people and middle class people obsess over the virtue of a clean mind and clean mouth. You know, I have to watch my diet. I have to read the right things. I have to moderate my intake. The wealthy are extremely stupid and grotesque and awful and classless. They're all yucking their way across Little St. James. I can't believe someone drew this. This is a crayon drawing, I assume. This is real. This was given to Epstein for his birthday. They get worse. Yeah, I'm aware. This one straight up looks like it's from a horror film. Like this one, there are so many reads. Like this is like you could commission an artist and say, "Can you depict something disturbing for me, but like make it layered?" You know, Trump drew that. No, no, no. Trump drew the one with the silhouette of the underage girl around the text in which he and Epstein talk about sharing a delicious little secret that never ages. Yeah, this is 100 Days of Sodom shit. We don't know who wrote this one. Oh, wait, it says right here. Alberto Sridiramina Gomez, 2002. I don't know. Whoever that is. Sure, I'm sure he's wealthy and well-connected. Was this one made by one of the trafficked children? This one also directly implicates Trump? Oh, I haven't seen this one. From the Wall Street Journal article. There's a photo of Jeffrey Epstein with a giant novelty check implying Trump sold him a woman for $22,500. The Epstein estate also turned over another letter from the book that references Trump. It came from businessman and longtime Mar-a-Lago member Joel Pashkow, who made a crude joke about a woman that Trump and Epstein socialized with in the 1990s, according to people familiar with the matter. The Pashkow letter included a photo of a poster board-sized check for $22,500, which had been mocked up to appear that it was sent from Trump to Epstein. Beneath it, a handwritten caption said, Jeffrey showing early talents with money plus women sells fully depreciated redacted to Donald Trump for $22,500, and the redacted is a woman's name. Pashkow and his attorney didn't respond to requests for comment. A lawyer for the woman said she doesn't know Pashkow and has no knowledge of the letter naming her, which the lawyer called a disgusting and deeply disturbing hoax. Trump was listed under the Friends section in the book's table of contents, along with Clinton and about 20 other associates, the Journal reported. Trump and Epstein socialized in the 90s, blah, 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 blah. This is the world elite. Yeah, doesn't it feel worse knowing that they're all like... I'm trying to find the right words here, because gross isn't the right word, because they would have been gross even if this was all sophisticated. The woke left doesn't want you to have the one correct term for describing this behavior. Weren't some victims organizing to present files on their own? Yeah, there was a meeting outside the Capitol building a couple of days ago, 3, 4, in which some of the victims of Epstein were talking about releasing their own files. That being said, I don't know what they really could release. Like, my guess is that if you were at any point associated with Epstein, he probably took pretty extensive precautions to make sure there was nothing you could do to go to the police or implicate him over. So I don't know what they would have, but it's possible that of the hundreds and possibly thousands of women who were trafficked, that some of them are around, willing to talk, and have some kind of information, you know? Thomas Massey said he would read their list out because he has immunity inside the House chamber. Yeah, it's been nice to see him take this position, I suppose. I don't know how much it's going to go for in the long run. At the very least, like, there are fake Trump haters like Rand Paul, and then there are real Trump haters like Thomas Massey. I will acknowledge that distinction. Massey genuinely does not like Trump. He himself is still a piece of shit, but he doesn't like Trump. Massey's Twitter posts are so funny. Yeah. No Fed posting, even about the demon pedophile Satanists that are on screen, okay? Rep. Massey's discharge petition on releasing the Epstein files is all but certain to force a House vote by the end of the month, even if no additional Republicans sign on, because 2 empty seats in Congress will be filled with reps who will sign. Safe Students Act repeals Gun-Free School Zones Act. Because in between him talking about Epstein, here he's like, thank you so much for the legislation that allows schools to determine whether or not they want firearms on campus. Libertarians, man. Oh yeah, did you guys see this one where like randomly for some reason Mike Johnson claimed that Trump's appearance on the Epstein files was because he was an FBI informant, and then he backed off that? Like it just I don't even think he was instructed to say that. I think that might have just slipped out of his mouth. Yeah, he was those kids for justice. He was taking notes. Every day he would call his FBI his informant contact, and he'd be like, no, 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 trust me, just 10, 15 more years here on Little St. James, and then I'll have the info that you need to bust Epstein. Yeah, exactly. If Trump was an FBI informant, we would have heard about it already. Hey, that's a good post. Have a blessed Sunday. It was a foggy but beautiful morning here in Northeast Kentucky. That's nice. This is what every day looks like if you're a Republican fighting to release the Epstein files. This is what your mornings get to look like. Majority Report brought up this point. How does one usually become an FBI informant? Yeah, I like the presumed implication of what Mike Johnson said, is that the argument he was making was that Trump wasn't doing anything pedophilic at all, and then the FBI contacted Trump and was like, you need to now befriend Epstein, go to the island 50,000 times, and children to implicate Epstein, as opposed to the real way people become FBI informants, by being informed that they're committing a crime and that their only chance at not going to prison for the rest of their life is by ratting on other people. Yeah, we need you for one last job. Trump only got into real estate because of the FBI informant scheme. He got into everything, all of it, from the beginning. His father was grooming him from the start to bust Epstein down the line, okay? All of this was part of the long game. He was sent to the island as a child. Yeah, you guys don't even know. How bad would you feel if the secret Trump is keeping was not all the kids he f***ed in Little St. James, but rather the fact that this is all like a revenge scheme that he's been cooking up for a long time to get back at the guy who trafficked him like 80 years ago? You don't even know. What if Epstein Sr. got him? Epstein was an ancient evil. Like a Dracula situation. This is like a generational fight. Epstein was like the kind of vampire who keeps faking their own death and transferring their estate to their son who looks exactly like them, who nobody's seen in years. This would be a good bit. I can see it. Really though, it's difficult to like, it's really bad. I don't know. Our government is run by evil genocidal pedophiles. It's pretty bad. Jesus. As bad as Biden was, at least he was only abetting a genocide and not also a pedophile to our knowledge. He did the creepy grandpa thing, and I acknowledge that was fucked up, but it's not quite Epstein's Island level. He was not on the in the black book, to our knowledge. How funny would it be if the Epstein list dropped and Biden was on there? I would be quite surprised. That'd be quite a turnabout. It would definitely give MAGA like some soothing copium to heal the wound, I suppose. He was too poor to be in the club. Yeah, he's a loser. Loser. Couldn't even get on the Lolita Express, honestly. If you've enjoyed the stream and my encouragement for you to go outside and touch grass, please like. It does make a big difference. And remember that YouTube has implemented an AI algorithm that is censoring huge portions of YouTube's content. It's possible you have it activated, though if you can see the stream, maybe that's not the case. Just in case, though, you should check to make sure that restricted mode is turned off on your channel. You don't want that. You don't want the censorship, folks. Certainly not if you're here.